As I informed you several times that I have started this web series to bring to the notice of the listeners the whole of the Constitution, highlighting wherever it was misused, misinterpreted, or misapplied. As a result of which we are facing political instability, political immorality, political insecurity, social strife, and poverty. We have completed up to Article 201 by the previous video. However, I am taking diversions here and there and also discussing the contemporary conflicting issues which are related to law and the Constitution. And sometimes I am incited to talk to certain social issues also, which I thought were expressions of violation of the Constitution, law, and human rights. Today, one such topic I will come before you with is that the allegation that Brahmins did not allow entry of Dalits into Hindu temples. It is not without truth. It is true that Brahmins denied Dalits entry into Hindu temples. On the face of it, it appears inhuman, unjustified, a sign of inequality, which is not the characteristic of a civilized society. I do not go into minute details of religions and social structures because we also do not know. I only draw gross conclusions from my memory and knowledge. As far as my memory goes, the earliest could have been the Vedic period, and prior to that could be a nomadic tribal life. Thereafter came the Vedic life. Vedic means va-ida. It was told like this, va-ida. It was told this way. It was only told, it was not written. So it is the conglomeration of knowledge, which is Veda, that starts from the brushing of your teeth until the cosmic studies. We believe that it was only Vyas who bifurcated this conglomeration of knowledge, a cluster of knowledge into 4 sections. He was not a full Brahmin, and the original script writers of Mahabharata, Mahabhagavata, and Ramayana in Sanskrit were also not Brahmins. Sanskrit language was founded by Vedavyas. It is Valmiki who wrote Ramayana, and all thus Ashtadasha Purana also were written only by Vedavyas. Our gods were non-Brahmins, our Rishis were non-Brahmins, our kings were non-Brahmins, and those who constructed temples throughout the country were also non-Brahmins. All the kingdoms and their dynasties were non-Brahmins. Though we call this religion as Hindus in the name of Sindhu river, in fact our lives are connected more with Ganges, river Ganga, than with Sindhu. The whole of Mahabharata has happened only on the banks of river Ganga. So we are called Hindus. In fact, our relationship is tied up more with Ganges than with any other river. The same way, by whatever name we are called, our culture is that of the Vedic culture. We adopted Vedas as standards of this religion. After Buddhism has taken over the entire India, it was only in 9th century, maybe around 835 AD, Adi Shankaracharya was born, and he camped throughout this territory and defeated the Bauddha and Jaina Pandits in arguments and established Advaita. Advaita means there are no two things. There is only one thing, that is the universe. Universe is the God, and its ultimate product is a human being. Along with your service to human beings, you should also serve the trees, animals, and all those creatures whichever are useful to human beings. Adi Shankaracharya preached equality. 1000 AD, Bhagavad Ramanujacharya has influenced the society. He was the founder of Visishta Advaita, and he too announced that Veda can be learnt by any person, including woman, and he preached Gayatri Mantra, standing on the top of a temple to everybody around. We often hear a communist theory that castes were formed according to their duties or functions or livelihoods. But in my opinion, that is totally wrong. According to Varna Ashrama Dharma, Anybody can become anybody. By birth, everybody is a Shudra. By perseverance, by hard work, one can become anything. These Varnas were interchangeable. In the story of Chanukya Chandragupta, the Nandavamsha dynasty belonged to a Barbar community. Salivahanas are said to be Potter community. Yadavas are none other than belonging to the caste of Lord Sri Krishna. These Padmashalis, Guptas, all were rulers. The caste called Vodra, now who undertake earthworks, were rulers in Rayalaseema just 400 years back. And in Telangana, Sarvai Papanna, who was a Taddy Tapper, he belonged to Taddy Tapper community. He was ruling Telangana about 400 years back. The ruling of the forward communities we see only in the recent history of about 1000 to 1200 years. Kakatiyas were Boyas, a tribal community who are now making their livelihood by hunting birds. Once you lose power, then you lose your authority, your property, your respect, and you will have to live by undertaking menial jobs and you will be naturally insulted. Whichever community comes to power will consider itself a superior race and forms its own caste. That was how all these castes have been formed, according to my opinion. In fact, it is the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes who are the real Jambudvipavasi, Jambus. In due course of time, they lost their kingdoms to several other communities who formed their own communities. In due course, when they lose their power, they became backward classes. SC, ST and BCs of today were once rulers. It was they who nurtured Hinduism, Hindu culture, temples and Brahmins. Now that they have lost everything, they have become inimical to the establishment. It is true, Dalits were not allowed entry into temples by Brahmins because temples are not properties of Brahmins. They were not constructed by them. Temples were constructed by the kings, the Kshatriyas, or the society. When one community wins over the other community and takes over the kingdom, they would kill as many people as possible. And the defeated community will flee to forests, hide here and there, or surrender, beg to give them life. And such people, and in due course of time, after the animosities have subdued, this defeated community will be given menial jobs to live in surrender. That is how the caste dominations have come into existence. If you can observe, the names of scheduled castes in India are still Hindu names. There are Krishnas, there are Ramas, and there are Sitas. That way we find the names of all scheduled caste people, the names of Hindu gods. When they were allowed to be named in the name of gods, how is that they are not allowed entry into temples? Because name is different from political power. Even today, if I go to a temple, would they allow me? If a chief minister's visit is scheduled to the temple, we all will be kept apart. The defeated king and his supporters and killing them, because there was no democracy or judiciary in those days. Killing was nothing, unquestioned. Supposing a Brahmin invites them into the temple and blesses him with regaining of power and flourishing, abundance in finance and growth of his dynasty, would the Brahmin retain his head on his shoulders? Now does anybody venture to invite a defeated MLA to his house and honor him while the winner has become a minister? This is what happens in power struggles. Brahmins are only workers in temples. They are not the owners of temples, and they cannot bless the enemies of the king to flourish and regain power. In 1927 or so, Dr. Ambedkar conducted a satyagraha when entry of Dalits was denied into Kalaram temple in Madhya Pradesh. I am discussing this issue because it is also a constitutional issue. In the preamble, liberty, the freedom is given for liberty of thought, expression, faith, belief and worship. So it is a fundamental right secured by the Constitution for each and every citizen of India. Let us not see what has happened 5000 years back, 4000 years back or 1000 years back, whichever is not to our liking today. Today we are vested with the largest written constitution and the best constitution in the world. We have to respect the constitution and follow it. And I will also bring one thing to your notice. Everybody is under a false impression, wrong impression that Ambedkar has given reservations in employment to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and others. But this is not true. In 1951 itself, the Honorable Supreme Court held in Champakam Dorairajan case that caste-based reservations under Indian Constitution are invalid or unconstitutional. So now you must understand that the Constitution did not contain reservations, caste reservations for employment. Under Article 14, 15, 16, it only prohibited discrimination of citizens based on caste, community, creed, region, religion, language and sex. Then it was Jawaharlal Nehru in 1951 who proposed the first amendment to the Constitution, saying that such of the castes which in the opinion of the state are not adequately represented in government employment may be given reservations. This was done through First Amendment and inserting clause 4 in Article 16. So it is the First Amendment introduced by Nehru due to which we are getting reservations today, not because of the original Constitution. And again, coming to political reservations in local body elections, it was P.V. Narasimha Rao through 73 and 74th Constitutional Amendment of 1993 who gave reservations to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and backward classes in local body elections. So even after independence or even before, Brahmins were not against scheduled caste people. But yet, most of the scheduled caste people know this. But some of whom have recently converted to other religions are more aggressive against their parent religion. This I have read in My Experiments with Truth, written by Mahatma Gandhi. It was mentioned that those who migrate to other religions recently would be more aggressive against their parent religion than those who were born and grown in that religion. That's what happening. And the sad part of it is that they are using very bad language, offensive language, vituperative language against other communities and especially Brahmins. Thereby they are giving an impression that they are capable of using foul language that will reduce the value of their community. They are doing great harm to their community. One day or the other, reservations may go away. So some of the YouTubers, not everybody, who have recently converted to other religions are targeting Hinduism, Brahmins and Sanatana Dharma. It is not good thing. This is their parent religion. This is the religion of their great grandfathers. And they are giving a wrong impression that they use foul language. Thereby they lose respect personally and they are also reducing the value of their community in the society. So members of that community should take care to restrict these violent YouTubers to use bad language against other communities. As a result of which, if you hate them, others also will hate you. It is not good for the society. To whichever religion we may belong, we are all Indians. One's religion may be changed within seconds. By change of your mind, you will become member of another religion. Your caste also may be changed. If woman marries a man of other caste, her children may get other castes. But your nationality will not change wherever you go. And all world Christians will not respect Indian Christians only because they are Christians. At the same time, the whole of the Muslim world will not respect Indian Muslims only because they are Muslims. They will be regarded only as Indians, Indian Muslim, Indian Christian or Indian. That way, the duty of all of us is to enhance the value of this country. If we fight among ourselves, we will become cheap in the eye of the world. Maybe one day India may be bifurcated into several pieces based on caste, religion, etc. It was already divided once based on language, which was a blunder. If we allow this kind of religious and caste-based abhorrence, this may lead to further unrest in the society. We have to respect the constitution. Faith, belief and worship is the boon given by the constitution through Ambedkar to every citizen. While praising Ambedkar, one is not supposed to transgress the provisions of the constitution. The real tribute to Ambedkar would be that you should follow and respect the constitution. I beseech the listeners not to be carried away by the falsehood being promoted on social media regarding social differences. Maybe there could be differences and there would always be, there were, there are, and they will be also. But we have a law and the constitution. If there is any violation by anybody, let us all together condemn it for the sake of a peaceful society and development of the country, for unity and integrity of the country too. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. I will come up in next videos from article 202 and forward. I request you to please subscribe, share and comment on my videos. I will be glad to reply to your worthy comments. Thank you.